Being able to find the lowest common denominator between two fractions is very important for adding or subtracting fractions, because as we know, we can only add or subtract fractions that have the same denominator. So this is how we will go about doing that. If the smallest denominator can be multiplied by something to make the biggest denominator, then we'll use that as our common denominator. So in this case, 2 can be multiplied by 3 to get 6. So this will be something over 6 plus something over 6 is equal to something over 6. So we said 2 times 3 is 6. So what we do to the bottom, we do to the top. 1 times 3 is 3. This denominator is already over 6. It's exactly the same, so we keep the top the same. So now the denominators are the same, we can just add the numerators. 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 over 6. But we never leave a fraction in a form where we can simplify it. So we can simplify this down to 2 over 3. If your denominators are different and you can't multiply the smaller one by anything to get the bigger one, this is how we will solve that. Write out a few multiples of each. So the multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. There's 6. So let's try 5. Multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so now we could continue both of those lists indefinitely. But what we're looking for is a number that is in both lists, and we're looking for the smallest number that's in both lists. In this case, it's 20. 20 appears in both lists, and it's the smallest number that appears in both lists. So our denominator here will be 20. So it's something over 20 minus something over 20 is equal to something over 20. Okay, tidy that up a little bit. All right, so now we use equivalent fractions. So 3 over 4 is what over 20? What do I do to this 4 to make it 20? I multiply it by 5. So what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 3 times 5 is 15. What do I do to this 5 to make it 20? I multiply it by 4. I do the same to the top. 2 times 4 is 8. Now that our denominators are the same, it's a straight subtraction. 15 minus 8 is 7. Here's another example of when the denominators are different and you can't multiply the smaller one by anything to get the bigger one. So what we do is write down the multiples of 3. So multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Okay, multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If you don't find a common number, keep writing multiples down until you do find a common number. So in this case, we found one. Our lowest common number is 15. It's the lowest number that's in both. So we're going to use this as our denominator. So it'll be something over 15 plus something over 15 is equal to something over 15. So what did I do to this 3 to get it to 15? I multiplied it by 5. So I do the same to the top. 2 times 5 is 10. What did I do to this 5? To get 15, I multiplied it by 3, do the same to the top. 1 times 3 is 3, 10 plus 3 is 13, and our answer is 13 over 15.